I'll be showing you how the last 2 weeks analysis panned out in the just concluded trading week. And secondly, I'll also be telling you the bias for this new trading week. So guys, please watch the video to the end. You might gain one or two values from it. So I welcome you especially to our Heartfelt weekly analysis. In this channel, all we do is to just call out the bias for the week. That should give you like 50 pips on the FS Triads, and it has been consistent. Just one setup, two on the max, or no setup at all, because less is better. So guys, let's hop in to see what we have for the just concluded trading week and what we are going to be anticipating for this new trading week. But don't forget, please subscribe to our channel, share these videos. You can also drop your comments or ask any questions, and we'll get back to you when necessary. So on the Euro USD, we anticipated a bullish move for the just concluded trading week. You remember, go and check back the past video. You get that we anticipated a bullish move on EU or GU to target 50 pips. And on Wednesday, boom, we had that set up on Wednesday and we were able to hit 50 pips. That was on 20th of May, 50 pips on GBP So we left Euro USD. Go check them out on Friday. Look at it here. There's another setup forming, and that setup forming. So we don't know if this setup might hold, but we are still on it. We only reduce our stop loss. We reduce our stop loss to somewhere like this. All right, somewhere like this, and we got our entry here. All right, so just hang on. I'll be telling you if this might be fail, and it might fail on the basis why it has to what it has to fail. So that is that on what happened. So we had a good first setup. Second setup is still on. So for this new trading week, what are we anticipating on the FS, on the EU, GU, and the DXY? So we're anticipating a bearish move on Euro USD and GBPUSD. Why a bullish move on DXY? So let me take you to the higher time frame on weekly, and let's see what to look out for. So hang on, guys. So guys, checking out on weekly time frame, you observe that we are having most of the pairs having a CRT forming like DSY. The CRT is already what forming on DXY. All right, and if you check also on GBPUSD, like the CRT forming, let's say this is candle 1 and this is what is candle 2, and here again we have this is forming as candle 1 and this is also forming as candle 2. So how do we align this to what is happening? First and foremost, the conflict between US and Iran has a lot to play on these setups. You know, each of the negotiation has, be affecting the market currently. All right. So if, for instance, because the US president have said that there is, negotiation ongoing successfully, but they are almost at the verge of what finalizing it. All right. So if that news still hold to the opening of the market, what I would observe, probably that means we're going to be having what? A gap down. All right. If that negotiation still hold and there's a cease of fire and almost getting there, what happened? We're anticipating that means we might have a gap down. All right. But if there's a collapse in that negotiation, all right, what happens? That means we are anticipating what? A gap up to push to the upside. All right. So on EU2, if the negotiation hold, like I said, what happened? If the negotiation hold, that means the H1 setup I showed you on Friday that we had, all right, I showed you in H1, check back. If the negotiation hold and there was they come into a consensus to agreement to probably follow the route, the lay down from whatever they listed. What happened? We're going to see what a surge. That means there was going to be probably a gap down to the upside, thereby first of all targeting what our 50 pips on Friday. All right. But if there is a collapse in that US and Iran talk, what happens? EU will gap down. All right. EU will gap down. So that is just what you have to look out for. So on the overall, you should understand again that if we are seeing this as a CRT, and I said we are to go bearish, that means all we need to do is to target at all. If price keep on buying, just make sure you target what? Target either 50 pips of this or price running into what? This volume imbalance. So we might be having a buy if the talk, if the agreement, the negotiation is still in progress. While market open, we might see GU buying to the upside, take off the previous week high into this what? FVG. If the agreement still hold, what happen? We might see market move to the upside into what? Into this volume or imbalance before any other decision can be reached. Probably we can start thinking of what on Tuesday, Wednesday / Thursday before we can now see a good buy to our direction. All right. So, but on the overall, I am not seeing this, price completing this what CRT. That is for GBP USD. Then on Euro USD. So if the talk holds, all right, if the negotiation holds up, that means we might see market moving to the upside into what? Into this level, this FVG, or into this opening price here, the other block, before we can now anticipate what? A bearish move back to our intended direction. All right, and that is also what we have here on DSY. The CRT forming this can be true. So if the negotiation hold, what happened? We might see a price drop down. All right, drop down first into this FVG, first. But I'm not seeing price completing the CRT. But if the negotiation hold for a long time, there is no disruption, probably the CRT might be completed first before going to the upside. But if it collapses, what happens? Price can just jump up and start pushing up into this, liquidity. All right. So for the Heartfelt buyers, we are going what? Bearish on Euro USD and GBP USD. How do you anticipate the bearish move? Wait for price to take any previous, day high, any previous day high any previous day high. It might be on Monday, it might be on Tuesday, it might be Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. But once the previous day high is taken, start hunting for what? A bearish move. But don't hunt for a bearish move without an SMT. Target 50 pips and you should be good. So whichever way, let's anticipate price to do what it needs to do. But let your heart be open. If we don't see the setup, we don't sell. If we want to keep buying, let's keep buying. But we are still on either of the side to make sure we hit our target. So guys, let's meet weekend to review what price might be doing for this what price may have done for this new trading week. Bye.